very clear and apparent. The owners let it be known. We're not doing that $10.5 million cap thing y'all was talking about. Any offer y'all sent with those last two offers, y'all shouldn't have brought it in this meeting. We're not doing a $10.5 million salary cap. We're not doing a 30% revenue sharing. You wasted your time getting on a plane if that's what you showed up.
The owners have made their position crystal clear. The $10.5 million cap hit is off the table, and the 30% revenue sharing isn't happening either. To make matters worse, the players are completely fractured. While one side is ready to strike, the other is desperate to sign the deal and get their checks. We are watching exactly what it looks like when a massive negotiation collapses in real time.
Via Alexa Philippou, the WNBA and WNBPA met in New York City for about 3 hours today. The player delegation included Nneka Ogwumike, Alicia Clark, Brianna Turner, and Stephanie Dolson. Nafisa Collier and Kelsey Plum had travel issues and didn't make it to New York. Ogwumike and company declined to comment on the PA's way out.
3 hours. That was the length of the high-stakes, face-to-face showdown between the WNBA Players Association and league owners this Monday in New York. With a heavy-hitting delegation featuring Nneka Ogwumike, Kelsey Plum, and Brianna Stewart, the players finally got the exact meeting they'd been publicly demanding for weeks. They wanted Adam Silver in the room. They wanted to go over Kathy Engelbert's head to deal with the owners directly. They got their wish, but it resulted in a total disaster. Multiple ESPN sources report that the owners didn't even entertain the latest proposal. The $10.5 million salary cap? Dead on arrival. The 30% revenue share? Not a chance. The owner's message was blunt: if these were your demands, this entire trip was a complete waste of time.
It's very clear, let me see this right here, that the players, they was doing this whole, we're on one front, we're all agreed and we're all in for everything. We're on the same page. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And now it's coming out that the owners they stood their ground in this meeting, and the players are now divided.
Here is where the situation truly spirals. 4 months, the WNBA Players Association has projected total unity, touting a stand-together mentality and authorizing the executive committee to pull the trigger on a strike if needed. It was supposed to be absolute solidarity. But behind the scenes, that's not the reality. ESPN is now revealing a heated internal debate within the 7-member executive committee itself. This isn't just a rift among the rank-and-file players, the fracture is right at the top of union leadership. One side is adamant that now is the moment to force a total overhaul of the revenue-sharing model, refusing to give an inch. The other side feels they've already secured massive wins and are much closer to a fair deal than people think. Simply put, half the room wants to strike, the other half wants to sign, and the owners are fully aware of the divide.
Divided. Y'all lied. Y'all said y'all all was on the same page. Y'all said that, we got this under control. What? We will not effing move. In the words of Natasha Clark, we will not effing move. We will not effing move. Well, your ass about to get moved over. Another group says that though there are still some matters to be negotiated, the players have already gained significant ground and are closer to a deal.
Think about the strategic fallout here. The players spent months carefully building their leverage, authorizing a strike, taking their demands public, and forcing this direct sit-down with the owners. They walked in convinced they held the upper hand, but the owners just called their bluff, and now, those internal fractures are leaking to the press. It is no accident that when a negotiating position begins to crumble, the information starts to bleed out. Sources start whispering, and the cracks become impossible to hide. Nneka Ogwumike walking out of Monday's meeting with a no comment tells you exactly how disastrous it was. When progress is being made, union leaders are eager to tout that success to the media. When things fall apart, you get silence.
Interest, but it's clear that some of y'all don't. It's clear. So there seems to be a real divide amongst the players here. And let's be real, am I surprised? No. Not surprised by this. We're not surprised by this. At the end of the day, these players have done everything they can to push the fans away and all of this stuff. And now, you got Nneka Ogwumike saying she has no comment on the situation.
Let's look at the actual dollars involved, because this is where the conflict of interest becomes impossible to ignore. The current proposal on the table could push top-tier salaries into the $400,000 to $500,000 range per season. For the vast majority of the league, that is life-altering money. It's the kind of financial security that finally allows players to stop grinding overseas all winter just to make ends meet. But here's the catch: a strike doesn't hurt everyone equally. Look at stars like Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. They've already built the unrivaled league, which provides them with massive salaries and ownership equity. Then you have Nneka Ogwumike and Kelsey Mitchell, who have secured major deals with Project B, another high-paying alternative. These players have significant income streams outside of the WNBA. They can afford to sit out a year to make a point. But what about Sophie Cunningham? What about the mid-level players who don't have million-dollar endorsements or stakes in startup leagues? Do you really think they're willing to walk away from a $400,000 payday to go on strike? Not a chance.
Y'all thought Adam was going to bend the knee and allow the other owners to go into a $700 million hole for y'all? Absolutely not, man. Are y'all crazy? This is crazy. The WNBA and WNBPA met for 3 hours. The players, so Nneka was there, Alicia Clark was there, Brianna Turner was there. Can we please get Brianna Turner off the Indiana Fever? Please get this lady off the Indiana Fever. Steph Dolson.
The owners recognize this power dynamic perfectly. They are fully aware that the union's claims of total unity are a facade. They know that with every passing week without a deal, the rank and file will start doubting if a strike is truly worth the sacrifice. In fact, the owners realize that stars like Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier might actually gain from a WNBA work stoppage, as it would funnel more attention and talent directly into their own league, unrivaled. That's exactly why the owners held such a firm line in Monday's meeting. They aren't facing a solid front, they are negotiating against a fractured coalition with clashing interests, and they're betting the players will fold first. The players pushed for this face-to-face sit-down thinking direct access to ownership would flip the script. They expected Adam Silver to step in as an ally, believing the NBA owners would be more sympathetic than Kathy Engelbert. They were dead wrong. NBA owners aren't about to sink their franchise's $700 million into debt just to satisfy these demands. That isn't how business operates, it's not how negotiations play out, and the players just learned that lesson the hard way.
Emotional stuff maybe, so it probably was a good thing that the weather didn't allow them to get there. But, and you see, shout out to my boy Shane GT, man. We got to go live. He said WNBPA has horrible representation. Look, probably for the best fee didn't make it. She's not exactly disciplined in her messaging. So the delegation was made up of, in the grand scheme of things, nobody that has a following or even a big name, just people you would pass on in the street and not even recognize. Smart. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. But get down in the comments, let me know what y'all think.
Caitlin Clark said it publicly weeks ago, both sides need to compromise and get this done. She wasn't talking to the owners, she was addressing the Players Association. She understands something the executive committee seems to have missed: the WNBA's leverage isn't infinite. The league is growing, but it isn't profitable yet. Ratings are soaring because of a few specific stars, not a systemic surge in league-wide popularity. If those stars sit out, there's no guarantee the audience returns. While players point to record viewership as proof they deserve more, owners are looking at the hard financials. Revenue is up, but so are costs. Expansion is on the horizon, requiring massive capital, and new media deals are still in limbo. The fundamental disconnect is simple: players want to be paid based on projected future earnings, while owners are basing salaries on actual current revenue. Here's the reality: the players have a decision to make, and they need to make it fast. Training camps are just weeks away. Teams need to finalize rosters, sponsors need certainty, and broadcasters need to lock in schedules. Every day without a deal weakens the players' hand, because every day, more players start doing the math: $400,000 for 5 months of work, or $0 in the hope that a strike forces the owners to cave. For most, that's an easy calculation. The executive committee authorized a strike, but they need a majority to actually honor it. If even 20 or 30% of players cross the picket line, the strike fails, the union fractures, and the players lose what little leverage they had left. Nneka Ogwumike and the executive committee are now in an impossible position. They pushed for maximum demands, built up player expectations, and went public with their frustrations, only to find that the owners aren't blinking. Now, they must either back down and accept a compromise that makes them look weak, or follow through on a strike that risks shattering the union and destroying years of progress. The owners know this. That's why they held the line on Monday. They aren't negotiating anymore, they're forcing a choice: take the deal on the table or roll the dice on a strike that might not hold. And the most frustrating part? The owners are likely right. The WNBA has massive momentum. Caitlin Clark's rookie year, along with stars like Angel Reese and Cameron Brink, brought unprecedented eyes to the game. This is the time to build on that momentum, not kill it. A strike shifts the narrative from rising stars to labor dispute, giving casual fans permission to tune out forever. It also hands all the leverage to alternative leagues like Unrivaled. The players thought record ratings gave them strength, but the owners just proved that leverage only matters if you're actually willing to use it, and they don't believe the players will sit out. Based on the no comment from Ogwumike and the leaks about internal division, the owners might be winning the psychological war. So, here is the question for the next few weeks: are the players willing to sacrifice a season, their careers, and the league's momentum for a few extra percentage points? The owners won't go hundreds of millions into debt just because the players asked. The ball is in the players' court. They can take a deal that is a significant improvement over the current CBA, or they can strike and pray the union holds. Monday was supposed to be the breakthrough, but it backfired. The owners didn't cave, the divisions are public, and time is running out. What do you think happens next? Do they take the deal, or do they risk it all on a strike? Drop your prediction below, and hit subscribe to stay updated as this unfolds.